Well, for decades, she fed the area's hungry, inspiring others by her example.
The community lost one of its best late last week as Evelyn Mount died at the age of 96. Ed Pierce takes a look back at her life and legacy.
For decades, every year as the holidays approached, those of us in the media would get a call from this unassuming grandmother. Evelyn Mount was once again enlisting us and a good portion of the community in her aim that no one go hungry. And if she could at all help it, whoever did. Filling that need was something that she seemed compelled to do, something as natural and necessary as breathing in and out. She would tell you that it was simply the way she was raised. When she was a young girl, before her family sat down to eat, she would be sent to check on neighbors to make sure they had something on the table.
And if they didn't have it, when we come back before we could eat, we'd have to fix them food, take it to them, and then come back and pray before we could eat. And I was raised that way.
So it was difficult to ignore her example, and the donations, big and small, would start arriving at her modest Northeast Reno home.
I had an extra turkey and thought this was a good thing to do.
Then it would all be distributed. She worried constantly that she would have to turn someone away empty-handed, but somehow I doubt that ever happened.
Sometimes I had to take my Social Security and buy food.
This huge operation started small. The first year she fed 2 dozen. Decades later, she was feeding thousands. She was always quick to credit the community and her small army of volunteers.
I thank God for them, and I think they have been wonderful, because without them, I couldn't do this.
But every army needs a general, and there was never any doubt who was in charge. These annual holiday food drives, sending people home with turkey and all the fixings, were familiar to everyone in the community for decades. Fewer knew that she also saw to it that residents of low-cost residence motels without kitchens also had a hot meal. But the years also brought family tragedies and health problems. A stroke in 2009 slowed but didn't stop her. Finally, 9 years later, she was unable to continue.
I just can't do it like I used to do it, but I want to, but I can't do it.
In 2018, she closed down the organization she had named Community Outreach. Her departure then and now leaves a hole in the heart of the community. The cause of feeding the hungry will fall to others, and it will be a challenge. Evelyn Mount set the bar rather high.
It's a blessing. She's a blessing. She really is.
Ed Pierce, KOLO 8 News Now.